Sensing that things might get out of hand going by the recent anti-government protests that are threatening to eject him from office, the Kenyan President William Ruto has turned to his tribe for a homegrown support base as he seeks to galvanize the country and steer it out of the crisis that it's witnessing. William Ruto, who skipped the 6th African Union Mid-Year Coordination meeting that was held in Accra, Ghana on July 21, 2024 because of the tension in his country, came out on the same day to boldly declare that enough is enough, and that he will not tolerate any further anti-government protests that are threatening the country's peace and stability. He therefore put the sponsors, planners and influencers of the protests on notice and warned that going forward, his government is not going to tolerate the chaos and destruction of property that was characterizing the recent protests that seem to be taking a new turn. And in an attempt to woo his tribesmen so that they're on his side in the current quagmire, the embattled leader got to the point of speaking in vernacular while addressing a section of them, who had turned up for his roadside address in Bomet County, which is one of the counties that make up his expansive backyard of the Rift Valley, and without saying much, take a listen to what he said. I want to assure you that everything is okay. Are we together? And I have said that we are a democratic country. We solve our issues peacefully and democratically. What we cannot accept in our country is that we ditch democracy and resort to the dictatorship of anarchy, death, destruction of property, and bring all forms of anarchy in the Republic of Kenya.
That one we will not do.
And I want to assure you that as a government,
we will protect our democracy, we will protect the peace and stability of our nation, and we will deal firmly and resolutely with those who are engaged in mayhem, in anarchy, in destroying people's property, in causing the death of Kenyans, and in causing the loss of property and looting in the Republic of Kenya. There is no place in Kenya, there is no place in our democracy, there is no place in our law or constitution for anybody to have a free license to visit mayhem, anarchy, death, and violence on the people of Kenya. We have a government to ensure that life and property is safe and secure, and we will do it.
Or are you saying that we leave it up to the crooks for them to rob us, destroy our property and destroy our peace? And I have asked that if there are some people with an alternative program,
it is obvious that we cannot replace our democracy and the transformation and the plan we have today. We cannot replace it with mayhem, with anarchy, with destruction of property. It is not possible. We are intelligent people in Kenya and we know what we want. And I have said, those who are sponsoring, those who are marketing, those who are orchestrating this violence, they cannot continue to be faceless. They cannot continue to be nameless. They cannot continue to be formless. They cannot continue to be anonymous. Let them step forward and tell us, what is this violence going to achieve in the Republic of Kenya? And what is their plan beyond this violence?
Let them not just tell us that they are orchestrating violent protests. Let them tell us that this violence, this violent protests, these deaths that are going on, this destruction of property, this torching of property, and all these skirmishes, when will they come to an end? What is their end game? And that's why we've said that
going forward, we will protect the nation. Going forward, we will protect the nation. We will protect life, we will protect property, we will stop the looters, we will stop the killers, we will stop mayhem, we will stop anarchy, because Kenya is a democracy and we want a peaceful, stable nation. And our issues are resolved using democratic means.
Or what do you say, fellow Kenyans? Do you agree that we must stop this chaos, that we stop this conflict, and put to a stop these fatal protests, and protests that destroy people's property?
I want to promise you it's going to stop. Enough is enough.
Or what do you say? Isn't it enough?
Walisema tusipitishe finance bill.
They said that we shouldn't pass the finance bill. I withdrew the finance bill. I then called them and they told me that they don't want to come and speak with me. They told me that I should go to X. I went to X, but they ran away. They were not there. They then told me that we should call for dialogue. I called for dialogue, but they have refused to come. They keep saying that they are faceless, that they are formless, that they are I don't know what. I have therefore told them that, now my friends, enough is enough.
I have given a chance to everybody to say whatever they want. It cannot continue like this. The country is much more important than any group of people. We must stand together as a nation, protect our nation, and make sure that Kenya is a democracy. Tunaelewana ama namna gani jameni?
Are we pleased together? People of Bomet, are you in agreement that we want peace?
Munasema we want peace. Munasema you want peace. Turudie we want peace. Munasemaje? 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 Hebu nisikie tena.
You want peace, isn't it? So that is it. For us, we want peace, and if someone has issues, then let them come through the front door and tell us that he has an alternative program that he wants to sell to Kenyans, and Kenyans will decide. I'm therefore happy to have come here at home.
Ate mnasema nisiogope.
What? You are saying that I shouldn't fear?
Mimi niko chonjo, my friends.
I am steady, my friends.
Ni vile tu majukumu
It's just that because of the responsibility I have to lead Kenya is heavy and I must balance lots of issues. But let me assure you that we want peace, that we want to seamlessly move our country forward, and Kenya will prosper.
Kwa hivyo,
And therefore,
kola ngalal gotite?
or you want me to say it in vernacular.
Arango tinye ngale kamwa ngale kejang.
By speaking in his Nandi mother tongue, the Kenyan leader who rarely speaks in the vernacular because of his national figure status, and who has always insisted that Kenya is a country that is way past tribal politics, he was subtly or rather unknowingly hinting that he had panicked, and that if need be, he will have to call on his tribesmen to rise up and defend him should his presidency come under siege. And when he said that he is not afraid or a coward and that it's just that he has to balance certain issues because of his position as head of state, he was also sending an indirect message that when it comes to dirty politics, he is a mafia who shouldn't be taken lightly by those behind the protests or anyone else, because that is the area in which he needs no schooling and can turn the tables upside down in a blink of an eye.
Ako'y kapkatet.